One. Welcome to Coach's Corner, everybody. I'm your host, Coach Tripp. Coach Mark Hobley here to my left. Johnny Mays is on your screen, the owner of MarketableSports.live. Welcome to Coach's Corner, local sports report edition on this beautiful Friday, April 21st. Johnny, man, thanks for joining the show.
Thanks for having me. It's awesome to see you. Good to see you, Hobbs. Haven't seen you in a while, man. Yeah.
I've been missing you at the ball games.
I know. Well, we're getting heating up here soon. A couple weeks. Well, less than a couple weeks. We start districts up, don't we?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can't wait.
We just had Coach. I say Coach. He's a player, Dennis Llewellyn, 8 years in the majors, and just had him on for a Saturday show. All right, let's start out with MarketableSports.live. What's your schedule coming up, and how did you start it? Let our listeners know how you started it. I think you're a pioneer, Johnny, streaming local sports here. Really the first, comprehensive streaming service. How did you get the idea, and how did you get it rolling?
Well, it was interesting. It all started. I'm a recovering trial lawyer, did it for 24 years, and then started representing athletes. And that's a very difficult task for many reasons. And then I developed an app, which led me to meet the owners of Varsity Sports Network last year. And they asked me to start doing the production of panhandle games for them here. Mm-hmm. And then an opportunity over the summer of last year arose where I could have my own channel. And I thought, why not? There was a lot of reasons, some mixed messaging with the branding. I have Varsity Sports Network, Marketable Sports. What are we? So I forged forward on my own and thought, so we launched Marketable Sports. We did the media day last year, which I'll talk about briefly today, but we had 23 teams, 24 teams from here to Panama City, football teams that showed up and went through that whole process. That was awesome. I thought if we got 50 games broadcast in our first year, that would be awesome. Right now, that's Choctaw Lincoln playing behind us, flag game. Choctaw stomped them, by the way. That was earlier in the season. We have 82 games that we have live broadcasts that are up on replay right now on Roku that we have done from August to today's date. And that's not even all the games. We did have some snafus where streaming didn't work or didn't record on the back end, but only a handful of those. So we're approaching 100 in our first year, which is just mind-blowing to me.
Holy cow. You're doing every sport too. Girls, guys.
Every sport. We did football and volleyball in the fall. We did soccer and basketball in the winter. In the spring, we've done baseball and softball for UWF. We picked that up. We're able to work out a deal where we did their midweek games for baseball and softball. We've actually got a doubleheader next week that's going to wrap up our UWF coverage. So the high school coverage has led to college, which has led also now, big announcement, which I might as well go ahead and make right here.
Yeah.
I've been tweeting on the Twitter machine. Big announcement. We are officially the broadcast company for Pensacola FC this summer, their summer season, both men and women. It's our semi-professional team here, soccer team. The women have been very successful over the years, but it's the old Gulf Coast Texans. They're now Pensacola FC. They rebranded many years ago, and it's awesome. It's basically Tier 4, so it'd be like 1A baseball, you would say, and it's semi-professional, in the sense that they're amateurs. They're not getting paid by the club, but expenses and stuff like that are covered. So we're really excited about that. That's at Shoreline. 9 games scheduled from May to July. So that's really cool. And that's really, our summer is going to be doing that and getting ready for our media day and our football season coming up, which is gonna be.
Oh my gosh, that's such a great gapper, right? The soccer team at Pensacola FC. It's a great gap from May to July, and then August football starts up. All right,
Exactly.
let's talk about the end of July. Marketable Sports' second annual Panhandle Football Media Day, July 29th. Is it going to be at Blue Wazoo Stadium again this year?
We are going to switch it up
Okay.
in the interest of it was beautiful. And, of course, we thank Mr. Studer and everybody there. But we're going to switch it up in terms of functionality of how it works. First of all, outside was a little bit warm for everybody involved. And then the rest of the media, I know you had issues, Coach, when you were up there with internet accessibility. Right. And then the rest of the media were down in the members lounge, which is beautiful. It's great, but that's a lot of people in one smaller area.
Right.
So we are going to do it at Gateway Church up on Creighton. It's basically, where BJ's is right there on Creighton, old University Mall there. It's right across the street there. Huge auditorium where we're going to be doing our segment. We're going to have the media set up in the gymnasium there so that they'll be able to spread out, plenty of room. We're going to have the food and drink in there so the teams will roll through, and plenty of room for you to come up there and do a show if you want to, and everybody to be there and not on top of each other.
Right.
And so in terms of functionality, for everybody to get what they want, the teams get out there, what they're doing this year coming up, and all the media to get the information that they want all in one location. It's I've talked to a few guys who are really excited about it coming up. So we're excited too. I know, Wahoo's is awesome. It's got that appeal, but from a functionality standpoint, I think it's going to be a much better presentation up where we're doing it this year.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's talk about your immediate marketablesports.live schedule.
Yes.
Talk about what's coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Well, what we've got, we're pretty much total flex. Next week, we've got a doubleheader UWF softball against Spring Hill. Okay. And then it's, we are in playoff season in the spring sports. And, we could look at all of them really. Flag, they just finished up their districts. Pace with the big surprise loss in the district championship to Childs. They came in a little, they're just not having the year that I expected them to have. They came in the number 10 team in 2A. But they lost that district championship. I expect them to fall more. And they're going to have an uphill battle getting to a state championship game. Choctaw, on the other hand, looks fantastic. Freshman quarterback. We've seen them a couple times this year. And they look poised to make a really good run. They won the championship. So we're going to watch and see what happens there. Their quarterfinals are next week. They kind of spread them out. Semifinals are the following week. Beach volleyball is a new one that we're following. We did a couple Gulf Breeze games. Gulf Breeze number 3 in the state right now, according to FHSAA. On Max Preps, they dropped a few to number 6 because of their loss to Bishop Kenny. They have only one loss on the season. This is a first-year program. Beach volleyball, brand new sport. Last year was the first year that it was sanctioned as a championship, where FHSAA would crown a champion. New Smyrna Beach won that. And of course, they knocked the indoor Gulf Breeze volleyball team out of regionals in the regional finals in this fall. But the beach volleyball team, deep, awesome. Bishop Kenny and Gulf Breeze have split 1-1. They're going to go through each other to get to the state championship. They do kind of a weird regional play-in, but districts are coming up next week. Gulf Breeze will win their district unless the sky starts falling or something. But they're going to win their district, and it's probably going to be Gulf Breeze, Bishop Kenny. Winner of that, I expect, has a great chance of winning the state championship.
All right, before we go baseball, softball, let's go local lacrosse. Catholic girls and boys are the only local team alive in the LAX state tournament.
They are, and they have, it's been Gulf Breeze and Catholic in the area as the dominant lacrosse teams for years. Catholic taking back over that position from Gulf Breeze this year on both sides,
Right.
Boys and girls. But I tell you what, we're just at a disadvantage because the level of play up here is not what it is that you see down in South Florida. Right. And that level of play of lacrosse, you just run into a buzzsaw. They're just at a different level.
Right. Absolutely. It's like when a growing sport comes, certain areas are going to be better than the other. I remember growing up playing hockey. Man, we go to Canada and get our ass whooped all the time by the Canadians, the kids.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same way. Lacrosse is growing at the rate that hockey was 20 years ago.
It absolutely is, and Catholic to me is poised to be the program that other programs are going to be looking at. Their coaching staff is fantastic, and so I expect to see them continue their rise in the state. But I don't know how far, just because of the competition around the state, it's going to be difficult.
All right, let's switch over to softball.
Softball.
Pace is in softball. I think Pace is 20-0, and Gulf Breeze is 21-0. Those are the two lead softball teams.
Two leading teams. Pace, of course, running in both softball and baseball. Pace number 3 in the state right now, and number 1 in 6A, and just studs. They got stud pitching. They got girls who can hit the ball, and to me, they have the best chance to win a state championship. Gulf Breeze, the big surprise, though, to me. I didn't expect them to be playing this well, and it's been a combination of hitting and pitching as well. Their pitching has been lights out, and they've been scoring the runs. And to me, I love softball. I can't wait till next week. And it's just so exciting and fast paced, and it's
NCAA
awesome.
Softball. Love watching NCAA AA softball, man.
That tournament.
NCAA is the best. That is
great.
the best.
No doubt about it. And, going up to UWF, D2 stuff is just awesome, man. Our first game that we had with them, it ended with a walk-off homer, and we're going crazy. So, it was awesome. It was just great. But yeah, those are the two teams, Pace and Gulf Breeze in softball that have a chance to make a run here.
All right, let's go over to baseball. Pace is ranked number 1 in 6A, number 4 overall in the whole state at 19-2. What a job Jason McBride has done over there. I missed them, but I'm going to try to get him on the show next week. I missed them this week. They're busy. They had the game Thursday, last night, and tonight. But yeah, Pace is loaded for bear, 19-2. Catholic's number 7 in 3A at 14-5. Gulf Breeze is actually number 7 in 6A at 15-5. And Tate's 15-6, playing better. Even West Florida is hanging in there at 16-6. Those are the winning programs around here in baseball.
Yeah, and they throw South Walton in there. They're the local Panhandle team that has given Pace one of their 2 losses this season. South Walton is number 1 in 4A, number 16 overall in the state. We got a strong, obviously, as always, the Panhandle strong in baseball. To me, Hobbs, I don't know how you saw it at the beginning of the season. Couple surprises for me. I don't think that Catholic or Tate is having the season that they wanted at the beginning, or that they were kind of expecting. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the Tate right now, they're sitting at 15-6, and they're 2-2 in the conference. And I think you're absolutely right. Actually, Gulf Breeze is 2-1 in the district, and so Tate's sitting at number 3 right now in that District 6 1A. So I still think we got a couple more games left. Anything can happen in that situation. As far as Catholic, with Richard Labonte coming back, he's sitting there 16-5. One of his losses is to South Walton, I think, and they play Pace. the big game, Johnny, this weekend, this week now, Tuesday night, you got Pace at Catholic. So I think that will answer a lot of questions. If Catholic can win this ball game here, they're back.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game.
It's going to be awesome, and that's what I love about baseball is you bring that up about Coach LeBounty coming back, and to have them on this track where they are, you look at UWF, they struggled kind of at the beginning. All right, at the beginning of the season, went through a slump, and then they rattle off 10 in a row. And
yes,
next
sir.
thing you know, are you streaking at the right time? And but Catholic, Tate, all these baseball teams have players, man.
Yes.
That if they start hitting at the same time in the same stride, any of those teams can make a run. Gulf Breeze to me is a big surprise. I didn't expect them to be as good as they are, but man, this District 1 6A.
Incredible.
Wow. How tough is that?
Incredible. And you still have Milton and Navarre who could bite you down there. And
yeah.
Those two teams have won 17 games between them now. They're 9-12 and 8-13. So anything could still happen in this District 1 6A. And don't count out District 1 5A. You have Escambia leading that at 14-8. They've quietly had a very good year. Coach King has done a very good job over there, and they could make some noise. That they could make a little short run in that playoffs. I think
so much up in the air right now. Baseball's going to be fun. About 10 more days before districts start up.
Yeah, playoffs are coming up. UWF's on a 10-game win streak. Check out Coach's Corner from last week. We had an in-depth interview with Coach Mike Jeffcoat. And if you watch that interview, you will understand why they win 10 in a row. And he's so good.
Yeah.
And, good. All right. Anything else, Johnny?
I got a couple more for you just because, hey, look, football's right around the corner, right?
Yes,
but
sir.
This is one guy, and this ties into our spring. One thing we didn't hit, Panhandle was strong in weightlifting in the state championships this year. Mm-hmm. In 3A in traditional, Navarre second, Pace third, Milton fourth. In 2A traditional, Choctaw was second. In Olympic, Choctaw third. In Olympic 3A, Navarre was second, Milton fourth, Pace fifth. Here's the interesting one, okay? And we can talk about all these guys, but here's the interesting one to me. One guy who's coming back to play at Choctaw next year, a double state champion in weightlifting, and you watch, he did last year, I think he is this year too, on the 4x100 relay team. Stud Muffin won the state championship in traditional and Olympic at the 183 weight. Cole Tabb. This guy, let me tell you something, man. Woo. He is the most overlooked running back right now in the state of Florida. I'm going to say it. This dude is a stud, and he is thick, and he's strong, and he will power through. And, Frank Beasley is all about getting the weight room, beef everybody up. So he's going to have the line up there blocking for him. Jesse Winslet back there swinging it. And we could talk about all these teams. My goodness. Escambia bringing big boys back. John Daniels at Pine Forest. Catholic loaded top to bottom with 1A players. Oh. Tate with, Rhett has assembled a coaching staff. Fort Walton getting all the transfers. It's going to be crazy.
Ooh. All right, I got a question for you, Johnny. Why in good God's name would they part ways with the best high school coach in the whole area, if not the state of Florida, Ronnie Douglas? How could they let Ronnie go? Have they lost their mind? Yes, they have. Let me answer it for you.
I think that there were some expectations and not an understanding of what from administration and not an understanding of what these guys were actually doing. I don't know of anybody in the area that pushes his players more than Ryan Vandervoort, who was his, right-hand man there. and is now over at Fort Walton Beach. But just getting the recognition and exposure out there, I guess just not an appreciation of what those guys were actually doing. As much as you do that, the kids still have to do their part. They have to get grades to get into school. They have to do what they've got to do to meet the minimum requirements to get in. Yeah. And, so I don't know everything that went to it, but I will say, Coach Carter over there now, big move for him in keeping people in my mind. I thought it was a brilliant move is getting IMG on his calendar and on the schedule. Wow. That's going to he's going to got guys like John Daniels, who's a 1A offensive lineman, not going to want to leave because, all eyes are on IMG anytime they play.
Oh, they're going to get run like a drum. They are. Man, are you kidding?
I see that.
Come on. He lost all his coaches. Ronnie had a great coaching staff, which he always assembles. They lost all of them too. So
it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to be interesting.
Johnny, are you going to do any spring football games this year?
Yeah, we were looking at it, actually getting a list. Scambia, Fort Walton Beach is one of them. I wish somebody was doing what Fort Walton did last year, which they had that 4 teams, 2 games going at once, which is really cool.
Right.
What do you know, Hobbs? I was just starting my list.
I hadn't heard anything. I'll be consulting with Coach Bennett this week because I want to get my act together. So I try to see as many teams play during the spring as possible. And I went to Niceville. I guess that was Niceville. No, we were at Fort Walton last year. You're right. I went over there with those guys, and I'd like to know what they're going to do. I do want to see some games. Thank you for telling me that they got IGM on the schedule.
Yeah, they did. Pine Forest. Yeah, and it's down there in their backyard. So Pine Forest is going to have to travel on that. But,
All right, Johnny. Thanks for what you do, man. Thanks for all your help in this community. And
yes, sir.
And getting the exposure for all the kids and the teams and the family and friends and fans that can watch it. If they're not there, I always watch you guys, man. You and Coach Wilson do a great job.
Exactly.
Keep up the good work, brother, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, and great to see you guys.
All right, too, Johnny. Johnny Mays, MarketableSports.live.
Yes, sir.
Don't go anywhere. We got to run to commercial break, but we'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Arbitrium Consulting for all your fencing, landscaping, pressure washing, tree trimming needs. Call 850-483-0350 for your free estimates. Serving Pensacola, Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, Destin, Perdido, Gulf Shores, Foley, and the entire Gulf Coast. Arbitrium Consulting is owner-operated, fully licensed and insured. Call today, 850-483-0350, the official landscaper of Coach's Corner.
Given the choice, we'd choose new over old anytime. Snap our fingers and undo years of wear and tear that every home endures. Thankfully, First Choice Home Improvement turns ugly into unugly almost overnight. First-rate materials, low prices. The transformation is unbelievable. First Choice Home Improvements, your unofficial headquarters for turning ugly into unugly. Call them today, 476-8887. Online at firstchoicehomeimprovements.com.
Your first choice is the best choice, so make your choice First Choice.
Are you riding around in a filthy vehicle? Dirty car no more. Visit Ronnie's Car Wash today to get it shining in no time. They have 3 convenient locations with another coming soon. The unlimited monthly wash packages start as low as $14.95 per month with free vacuums, multi-purpose spray and towels. Visit them in Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, and soon Crestview. Don't wait, wash today. Be sure to see Ronnie's Car Wash on Facebook to see the latest specials and discounts. You'll be riding and shining in no time.
Step One works so hard to get you in the perfect car.
Looking for a better car buying experience? With the Step One Advantage from Buick GMC, Fort Walton Beach, and Pensacola, receive no-hassle market-based pricing or incentives by pre-ordering. Looking to sell or trade? Our dedicated team will even come to you. Plus, every vehicle sold at Step One supports local charities right in your neighborhood. Experience the Step One Advantage at Buick GMC, Fort Walton Beach, and Pensacola today.
There's a reason why Hill Kelly in Pensacola is the #1 selling Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealer between Jacksonville and New Orleans. While other dealers have taken advantage of a competitive market with higher prices, Hill Kelly has discounted prices to the lowest of the year. And Hill Kelly in Pensacola won't surprise you with excessive charges beyond the selling price. Come see why people from Milton, Pace, Foley, Bay Minette, Daphne, Gulf Shores, Mobile, and beyond are driving to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to buy their next new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. At Hill Kelly, the bottom line price and your satisfaction are what really matter. So before you sign, check the bottom line and make the trip to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to see what true local ownership can do for you. At Hill Kelly Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Highway 29 in Car City, Pensacola. Or shop online 24/7 at hillkellydodge.com. When it comes to bottom line pricing, nobody beats a Hill Kelly deal. Nobody.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner on this local sports report edition on Friday the 21st. I want to thank Hobbs for being here, my right-hand man. I want to thank Johnny Mays for being on the show. And don't forget, tomorrow on Saturday, we have an in-depth interview with former Major League Baseball player and coach Dennis Llewellyn. You don't want to miss that. Have a great sports weekend, everybody.